You're lying in bed, scrolling. You see a friend's perfect vacation photo, a coworker's promotion, a stranger's ridiculously happy wedding, and that quiet little voice in your head starts to whisper, "Why isn't my life like that?" What if I told you that feeling is a trap, and the way out isn't to try harder, but to care less? Because here's what happens next, right? You start feeling guilty for feeling that way. You think, I should be happy for them. What's wrong with me? And suddenly, you're not just feeling bad, you're feeling bad about feeling bad. It's this vicious, soul-draining cycle, and it has become an epidemic. But I need you to hear this. You are not broken. Your brain isn't broken. You've just been sold a lie. For years, the world has been screaming at you from every direction that the key to a good life is to always feel good. Be positive, be happier, want more, be more, do more. But what if that's the very thing making you miserable? I went deep into one of the most brutally honest books ever written on this exact problem, and I pulled out a system that flips that entire idea on its head. It's a way to finally short-circuit that anxiety loop for good. The secret isn't learning to force a smile. It's learning the gentle art of not caring. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand that not caring doesn't mean becoming a cold, indifferent person. It means becoming an unstoppable one. You're going to learn how to choose the tiny handful of things in life that are truly worth your energy, and how to let the other 99% of trivial nonsense just slide away. Sticking around might just be the most freeing thing you do all week.
So if trying to feel good all the time is making us miserable, what's actually going on here? Well, it starts with a huge lie that our culture sells us every single day. It's the idea that the path to a better life is always more. Buy more stuff, have more amazing experiences, make more money, be more perfect. You are constantly bombarded with messages to care about everything all the time. But giving a damn about everything is a recipe for a mental breakdown. It's an unwinnable game designed to keep you feeling inadequate. But here is the secret, the escape hatch. It's a simple, powerful idea that philosopher Alan Watts called the backwards law. And it goes like this. The more you desperately pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied you become. Think about it. The more you desperately want to be rich, the more poor and unworthy you feel. The more you desperately want to be sexy and desired, the uglier you come to see yourself. The more you desperately want to be happy and loved, the lonelier and more afraid you become. Chasing the positive creates the negative. It's a quirk of our brains. Pursuing something only reinforces the stone-cold fact that you don't have it. No truly happy person needs to stand in front of a mirror and say, "I am happy." They just are. This is the aha moment that changes everything. The goal is not to get rid of your problems. The goal is not to live a life without any pain or struggle. That's a fantasy. The goal is to find better problems. This is the entire core message of this video. The secret to not caring about 99% of things isn't to become indifferent. It's the exact opposite. It's about finding the 1% of things that are so profoundly important to you that they make all the other nonsense irrelevant. True freedom isn't about having no cares. It's about choosing your cares. It's about choosing your struggle. But I get it. That sounds a bit crazy, right? How can embracing struggle and even failure actually lead to a better life? Well, to understand that, we first have to talk about a man who was a professional failure for 50 years and how it made him a legend. So, let's talk about that professional failure. His name was Charles Bukowski. By all accounts, he was a loser, an alcoholic, a gambler, a womanizer. For decades, he tried to be a writer, but his work was rejected by almost every publisher. They called it crude, disgusting, and horrible. Then, at age 50, an editor took a weird interest in him and gave him his first real shot. He wrote back to the editor, "I have one of two choices. Stay in the post office and go crazy, or stay out here and play at writer and starve." I have decided to starve. He wrote his first novel in 3 weeks. He would go on to sell over 2 million books. We love stories like this. We say, see, he never gave up. But here's the twist. On Bukowski's tombstone, the epitaph reads, "Don't try." What? Bukowski knew, even after all the fame, that he was still a loser. His success didn't come because he was determined to be a winner. It came because he was comfortable with himself as a failure. He didn't care about success. This is the key to escaping the happiness trap. True self-worth, real confidence, isn't about how you feel about your positive experiences. It's about how you feel about your negative ones. A confident person can look at their flaws and say, yeah, that's part of me. Who cares? Once you stop running from your flaws, you can start choosing your struggles. And this is where life actually gets good. Because problems never go away. They just get exchanged or upgraded. So don't hope for a life without problems. Instead, hope for a life full of good problems. Happiness isn't found on a beach. Happiness is an activity. It comes from solving problems. True, lasting happiness only happens when you find the problems you enjoy having and enjoy solving. So I'm going to ask you the most important question in this entire video. What pain are you willing to struggle for? Everybody wants the reward, but not everyone wants the struggle. People want an amazing body, but they don't enjoy the pain of the gym. People want a successful business, but they don't enjoy the risk and the repeated failures. Who you are is defined by the struggles you're willing to endure. Okay, so you need to choose your struggle. But how? You need the right mental tools. Here are 3 of them. Tool number 1 is radical responsibility. There's a huge difference between fault and responsibility. Fault is past tense. Responsibility is present tense. If someone leaves a baby on your doorstep, it's not your fault, but the baby is now your responsibility. It's the same with your life. We don't control what happens to us, but we always control how we respond. This isn't about blaming yourself, it's about empowering yourself. Tool number 2, the power of being wrong. Certainty is the enemy of growth. The truth is, you're probably wrong about everything, and so am I. Instead of trying to be right, try to find where you're wrong. Being wrong opens you up to the possibility of change. And finally, tool number 3, the do something principle. If you're waiting for motivation, you'll wait forever. Motivation isn't just the cause of action, it's also the effect. Just do something. Anything. A famous novelist said his secret was writing 200 crappy words per day. The action itself creates the inspiration. And that brings me to that final, terrifying truth. When I was 19, my friend Josh died in a tragic accident. His death was the most transformative moment of my life. I had a realization. If there is no ultimate reason to do anything, then there is also no reason not to do anything. In the face of death, there's no reason to give in to fear or embarrassment. By avoiding pain, I was actually avoiding being alive. Death scares us, and because it scares us, we avoid thinking about it. But death is the light by which the shadow of all of life's meaning is measured. It must be the compass by which we orient everything else. It forces us to ask the only question that truly matters. What is your legacy? What will you choose to care about? If this video gave you a new way to think, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more ideas that challenge the status quo. And I have a question for you. What is one thing you're officially giving yourself permission not to care about anymore? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Thanks for watching.